that is pretty freaking loud from the previous thing. Let me turn that down. I apologize right away. I'm blowing people's eardrums out with this. That's better. That's better. In fact, I kind of want to go to the sound mode myself, and that's not what I want. Configuration, volume. Let's turn that. Oh god, that was even at half volume already. Yikes. 4's about right. 4's about right now. Hoi, yeah, great. Told you guys there'd be a lot of issues today. Now I'm going to bring it down to 3. Yeah. Okay, so it's that time of year again. Hello again, Internet. Told you this was going to be a disappointing stream. I warned you it was going to be a disappointment, and right off the bat, it is going to be a disappointment. But yeah, it's that time of year again, end of year, so going to bid 2019 farewell, and since I tend to be 20 years behind, I'm gonna party like it's 1999. Yeah, in specific, let me take a peek over here. I've got, just like previous years, kind of a little tradition, why not? I take a look 20 years back at my favorite PC games. Now, unfortunately, we're actually entering an era right now. 98 was pretty good for the PC. 99, not so much. There were some good games, don't get me wrong. There were some classic games that are released this year. But we're starting to see the transition more into consoles really coming into their own. This is the era of PlayStation. This is the year that the Dreamcast came out, which I know a lot of people are going, yeah, the Dreamcast. No, in all seriousness, when it came out, it was a technological marvel. It really was. It was well ahead of everything else, and that's what killed it, because other systems of that generation were able to, you know, have another year's worth of hardware upgrades. But yeah, we're looking at the N64, we're looking at PlayStation, we're looking at consoles just starting to rule the world. And I'm still looking at the PC stuff. Yeah, that's going to happen. At any rate, let's go ahead. We're going to get this game started here while I just kind of dick around with it while I go through my list. Like every year, I also kind of try to show off a game of the year. And yeah, this isn't exactly a real surprise entry here. I took a look at my list of what games I actually played that came out this year, which is not many. I usually don't. I usually wait a few years to buy the games, because even then they're going to sit in the freaking pile of games that I have unplayed for a while anyway, so there's no point in buying games right away. Every now and then, though, one comes along that you just have to play, and in my opinion, this was one of them. At any rate, let's go ahead and go through my top 10 list. And again, it's going to be in the description for those of you who don't want to sit around and listen, and I don't blame you. You just can watch me dick around a bit in this game while I talk. That number 10, we're going to look at SimCity 3000. Now, 3000 was not my favorite entry of the SimCity series. In fact, it's actually one of my lesser favorites. I do still like it for what it did. Very complex. They definitely added some layers to it. I believe this was the one where that had the no, I think 2 is the one that really added like the underground, the water lines, and all that stuff. 3000 just at that point, you know, it's the third one. Doesn't necessarily mean things were all that good. And I can't even, and this is a problem also, because it's the third one. I know the first one the most. I know the second one a bit. But can I differentiate between the second and third that much? Not without replaying them, honestly. You'll notice I'm trying to block in this. So that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm trying to level up my talents. So yeah, SimCity 3000, it makes the list, but you're looking at the bottom of the top 10 list of a year where the PC games weren't particularly well represented. So yeah, I'm not going to say this is a classic that everyone must run out and play. Sorry, guys. And in fact, when you get to number 9, you'll know why. Because here we are at number 9 on my list already. I kind of bust through this pretty quickly. At least I try to talk about the games, each one, but number 9 is one that you may have seen on the show. This is one that I did actually stream for the first time as I beat it for the first time. I had played it before. Ooh, nice. I had played it before, but I had run into an issue with it that caused a fail, not really a fail condition. It was something that rendered the game unplayable at that point. Come on. Damn you. Alright, fine. Yeah, it was something that rendered the game unplayable at that point. I went through one of the caves without the dragon, and the dragon disappeared for good. He was completely out of the game. Could not continue the game at that point. It's just over. So that was an unfortunate instance that stopped me from actually playing the game 20 years ago. I did go back and redo it on stream, and I had fun. I'm not going to lie about that. It was somewhat enjoyable, but it also had a lot of problems. It was not by any means a fantastic game. And it was enough, though, that I did want to play, and did play, and somewhat enjoyed the sequel, so... And come on, it's a game where you get to ride around on a dragon. What's not to love? What is not to love about that? Number 8. This is one I haven't been able to stream, and I mean been able to stream. I've tried. It doesn't want to run properly on modern systems. It really does not want to run properly on modern systems, which is a shame because Descent 3, coming in at number 8, has some really interesting features to it. It's the first one that really changed up the engine, and it did, and it was really mouse capable. Something the other ones kind of weren't, let's be honest here. It was honestly a bit painful to try to play it with the mouse. I totally forgot about that. Sorry, I haven't actually played this game in a few months. And I'm trying to get back my train of thought on Descent 3. Yes, it was one that was really mouse capable, and it controlled very well that way. It was a lot of fun to play. The online was a blast for Descent 3, for what little I played of it back when it actually came out and was new. Story exists. I don't know what else to say about it other than that. I'm losing my train of thought again. I apologize for this, because I'm getting distracted by the game in front of me. But yeah, I mean, Descent 3 is... I think it's another one that is no longer available. I could be wrong. For a while, the Descent games were gone, but I think they came back. I honestly don't remember. Huh, I haven't been around to that yet? Really? Really? That's weird. I mean, this is my second playthrough of this. I'm on hard mode, and I could have sworn I've done all this stuff already. But it would appear not. Actually, one of the things in this mode is I've been trying to go through it and get the bosses without getting hit. The extra damage stuff, which is kind of hard to do. At any rate, let's get back to what I was talking about. Descent 3, yeah. Oh, God, that was also another one where it wasn't just inside the cramped caves and mines anymore. It actually did open up a bit. There were some wide open outdoor areas, some city areas. Honestly, it was a really good upgrade to the games. And I wish to God I could actually play it for you guys. But I just can't get it to run. And that's just not nice. That's just not good. Okay, number 7. Oh, this I told you it's going to be a disappointment. I'm always terrible at doing these. I'm not even a big fan of doing these top lists. Just thought it'd be fun the one year. And, well, once you start... Once you pop, you can't stop, you know. So number 7 here is, and this is going to piss people off, Quake 3. Yes, it's all the way down at number 7. Not a huge fan of it. I'm really not. I prefer games in the more single-player aspect than the multiplayer aspect. And you hear me say this, and you're going to be really mad even later on. But Quake 3, it felt alright. It looked utterly amazing. The engine is something special, truly fantastic. But the game itself wasn't the best fan of the various characters in it, or the more simplistic nature of it, which it really was more simplistic this time out. No, that is the right thing. Isn't it? Yes. Yeah, there we go. It was more simplistic this time out. God, I can't think of what I'm trying to say with it. So really, I had this stuff, some of this stuff listed out, but I'm getting distracted by the video game, so my brain doesn't work. The graphics, the icons, such, they went with more, and like even the later games, like the Quake World stuff, and that more recent Quake, was it? Not Quake Champions, but there was a free-to-play one a bit ago for effectively Quake 1 through 3, or 1 and 3, that had the more streamlined, simplistic icons, which I understand why they do it. If you want to just quick glance and see what things are, yeah, that's how you do it. But it just didn't quite look as good to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just complaining over nothing. Maybe it was a great addition to it. The rest of the graphics, the levels are awesome. I don't know, man. I just never felt that great playing Quake 3. I never wanted to play it multiplayer. Loved Quake 2. Played hundreds, if not thousands of hours of Quake 2 online. Never wanted to do Quake 3 online. That's not what I wanted either. Let's see. What is the next one? I think the next one is number 6 here. Let's take a look at my list. Half-Life Opposing Force. By the way, this is a secret in the game. If you have that familiar up and sit down here, that's when she'll play the piano. Just letting you know. But yeah, number 6 is Half-Life Opposing Force, which is a little bit of a cheat to put what is effectively an expansion pack on. Yet it's not entirely an expansion. It is a standalone, which is the only reason why it made this list, because you can play it without owning the original. But it was an interesting take. You're kind of going through the original part of the game again. Only this time you're playing as one of the soldiers. And you do see a few instances from the first game. It's just, I like things that take a game and give you a different perspective on it. You know, like one of my favorites of this is Dead Rising 2 Off the Record, where you get to basically, it's an alternate reality version of Dead Rising 2, where he plays the protagonist of Dead Rising 1. It's a really neat little concept. I truly liked that. And you have something similar here. You have a second game where you get to play through the familiar scenery from the first. Oops, what am I doing? No, that's actually correct. You get to play through the familiar stuff from the first game, but in an unfamiliar way. And again, there are a lot of people who don't like it. This is one of the Gearbox ones. But I actually did like Opposing Forces. I thought it was really well done. Certainly better than some of the other alternatives that were available the year, or in general. I could have sworn I've done all this before. I don't know what's going on with this game. I apparently have no idea what progress I am on this save, so whatever. I could go down there right now. I really absolutely could. I don't want to. I'm trying to just stick to the areas that I know and not fuck with the progress. I have nothing else really to say about Opposing Forces. I wish I did. I just don't. Okay, number 5. Told you this was going to be disappointment and failure. Lots of disappointment and failure. Number 5. Roller Coaster Tycoon. Oh god, this game is fun. I love simulation games. I'm not necessarily good at them, but I do enjoy playing them. And Roller Coaster Tycoon, like, you notice that SimCity 3 was on the list, and it was way down there because it's like the third one of that series, and it just didn't really fit it all that well. Roller Coaster Tycoon, this is the first one of its series, and it was fantastic. It did everything you could possibly want the game to do, and then some. You got to build parks, you had various rides to do, and of course you could create your own roller coaster. Who hasn't wanted to do that? Just make your own from scratch, go nuts. I am just trying out all kinds of crazy stuff here. Again, I'm going to keep getting distracted by the game. I apologize. But I'm dumb, so it's going to happen. I love this game so much. Everyone should play it. Everyone should be playing this game. Where was I? Oh, yes, Roller Coaster Tycoon. Yeah, the problem, like, I'm not particularly good at Roller Coaster Tycoon. I love the game. But my god, most of the stuff I tried to create would either kill the people that were writing it. Of course, sometimes you did that for fun anyway. I mean, let's be honest, who hasn't created the killer roller coasters for fun? Oh, wait, what? Oh, shit, it's on the other side. I completely missed it. Yep. Oh, I guess I'm not going around that way. But yeah, my stuff generally either, you know, killed. The ride I had that was the most successful roller coaster, I kid you not on this. I don't know why it was this successful. It should not have been. But all it did was spiral up one side for a while, go around, and then spiral down the other. And that was apparently exciting enough for the people. That thing was a massive, massive hit for my amusement park, and again, I have no idea why. Something like that should not have been, but just utter fantastic success for me. I wonder if this game got... No, this game hasn't been patched. The other game I wanted to run got patched, and that's why it's got a lot of odd stuff going on with my save and it, but not this one. Huh. That's just weird. Yeah, that's just weird where the chests are versus... The map in this area is not particularly good. You'll notice I picked up the treasure chest way over here when the chest on the map is on the other side. That's the problem with that spiral tower. It really screws with the map. So, yeah, Roller Coaster Tycoon. I'm great. I'm fantastic. My brain isn't here. Number 4 is one that we've seen on the show as well. I'm sure everyone just loves hearing how out of it I am as I'm trying to do this top 10 list. I had a lot of trouble making this list. I genuinely had a lot of trouble trying to make this list. Simply because there just weren't enough games. Number 4, as I said, one that some people will recognize. Aliens versus Predator. Yeah, I got hooked on this game back in the day. Absolutely hooked. I said I actually wrote the FAQ for this originally. Or one of the FAQs anyway. Walkthroughs. Only one I've ever written. That's how into this game I was. Completely into this game. And when I played it again for the stream, it was still really good. I mean, I did run into a couple problems where I had to look at my own freaking guide to get through one area because it didn't make any damn sense to me. But other than that, the game still carried the proper atmosphere. It was terrifying, and you get scared and anxious and on edge, waiting for that startle, that jump scare of when the facehugger is coming to get you. When you're hunting it down, to this day, that is still one of the only parts of a video game that really gets me. As I say, the horror games, the environmental stuff, has almost no impact on me, except that one. That one does it to me every time. That one just messes with me completely. The rest of it, yeah, I mean, it does the thing that I complain about so much. How is it just there's another one. I didn't even see that. It does the thing I complain about so much with some of these games where, especially the Aliens games, where it uses the same plot. Oh, crap. That's totally not good. I think I might have to undo my poison here. I might need to actually use an antidote. Well, part of the problem is I keep crouching at an angle instead of straight down. Ugh. My brain is shut off again, so obviously I have nothing left to say on the Alien vs. Predator. Oh shit, okay, yeah. Okay, fuck you, go away. Is it gonna, can the poison kill me? Let's not let that happen. Substance that poisons you. Well, I don't want to drink that then, do I? Actually, you know what? Where's my shards? Fairy, you come out. Like, you actually use items on me, don't you? Yeah, I think you actually use my items on me. Thank you for that. Instead of just, you know, doing magic on your own. Oh, I forgot I could do that too if I really needed hit points. Well, I'm dumb. I'm very dumb. I have no idea what I'm doing in this game. I don't know what I'm doing or why. It's not like I can't get the items back. Yeah, AVP. Okay, let's come up with something new to talk about. Number 3. Need for Speed High Stakes. Yeah, I got a racing game as my third best game of 1999, at least for the PC. And High Stakes is still, to this day, one of my favorite Need for Speed games, which was my favorite series, or one of my favorite racing series. Well, my favorite racing series for a while. It's no longer. Obviously, it has been definitely surpassed by better games. But back in the day, Need for Speed was king. Oh, you have no idea. Especially if you wanted to play any of those big famous supercars, that was the place to go for it. And there were some utterly fantastic ones. And High Stakes, my favorite part about High Stakes is the previous game, Hot Pursuit, had brought back the police chases. High Stakes brought them back again and then some. In fact, High Stakes effectively has the entirety, because High Stakes is Need for Speed 4, it effectively has the entirety of 3 in it. All the levels, all the cars, all the options, the race modes, and then some. It's amazing the sheer amount of content they included in that game. Well, this is a perfect place to train this. This is an absolute perfect place to train this. Oh, I think I'm just going to go ahead and train this here. But yeah, it's just an absolute amazing amount of detail and... Or not detail, but of the cars, of the options. It had night racing, which looked really good back in the day for what it was. Again, that is important for what it was because, you know, it doesn't look that good today. But these things were a lot of fun. And the fact that it included almost all of the previous game, how can you not love that? How can you not just want to go nuts with it? There's so many games that just don't do that. In fact, most games don't do that. The fact that it had that much extra content, that it rendered the previous game practically obsolete, and even then, it like not just had all that content. The content was bigger, better in 4. There were more options with the pursuit stuff. You had a few more abilities. So it wasn't just that you got to play through all the stuff in the previous game. You got to do it better. Okay, well that's now completely unlocked. So I'm going to go back to the first place and save. So Need for Speed 4 already took one of my favorite games and in every conceivable way made it better, bigger, more cars, more tracks, but it still had all the same stuff, more options in the racing. It's what a sequel should be. And it was amazing. So number 2. This is the part I said that's going to get some people really angry after what I said about Quake 3. Number 2, Unreal Tournament. Again, this is one that's designed to be multiplayer, but no. I'm looking for something right now. Give me a moment here. I apologize for this. Rapiers. Just okay. Shit. Okay, well, this is Thousand Blossoms. Compendium notes. No, that's alchemy. That's alchemy notes. Compendium. Journals. Journals. That's what I'm looking for. Alchemist. 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 Assassinate. Thousand Blossoms. There we go. Rapier, Stinger, and Kazakli. So let's go equip one of those. Great swords, katanas, spears. Yeah, this is how you do the talents in this game. Only certain weapons have the ability to use the skill. Once you master the skill, you can use it for all weapons of that class. So now that I mastered block with that one weapon that I was using, I can use block for every sword. There's the rapiers. There's the Kazakli. Okay. That is 199 versus, of course, 93 and 130. So that's the one I'm going to use. And it has that skill, which some rapiers don't. But yeah, Unreal Tournament, like Quake 3, is first and foremost an online game. Online shooter. And the single player mode of it, just like Quake 3, is a going through the tournament with bots. But what really elevated 3, or Unreal Tournament over Quake 3 even, is, you know, I might actually have to use the lower end ones. What really elevated Unreal Tournament over Quake 3, absolutely insane mod support built in. That, and let's be honest, the weapons are just a lot better in Unreal. I'm sorry to say it. I know you Quake Puritans out there love the various weapons in the Quake series, especially the railgun. But hands down, come on, give me a freaking flak cannon. Give me that shock rifle, the sniper rifle. Unreal just has better weapons than Quake. Instead of having various... Well, I mean, Quake kind of had characters grouped into clans as well. But there were the various races, including the Scarge, that you could play in Unreal tournaments. And like I said, the mod support, mutators are built right into the engine. And it was really easy for mod users, mod makers, to be able to come up with new stuff for it and just blow everything away. There were some really good mutators made for that game. Mutators that just... The fuck is shortcut? Yeah, mutators that, well, like they say, mutated the game. Changed how things operated. Changed how things work. And the fact that it was just ready-built, programmed right in, the game was literally designed for them, made a huge difference. Now, it's not to say that Quake 3 didn't have mods. But the built-in, right as you try to play the game, you could have the mutators set up on the list in engine, no having to screw around with command lines and such, right out of the box. And of course, it came with several very interesting ones right out of the box. One of my favorites was like the big head mode. The better you did, the larger your kill-death ratio, the better you were doing, you would have this giant head that got larger and larger as you did better, and thus it would be easier and easier to get headshots on you. It was a fantastic little thing. And again, just right out of the box it had stuff like that. So the game had even more options than Quake 3 did from the start. More ways to mess with the game and just have fun. So even though id Software is kind of king of the world on the technology aspect, Epic made a better game. I tried to use the block. It doesn't work on this one. Alright, so before I get to number one, let me give a few honorable mentions here, because that's always a little bit of a tradition as well. Oh, this list was bad, and I apologize for anyone watching. Haha, you suck. No, I suck. What am I saying? No, you guys are great. I'm the terrible one. I apologize for saying that even. What you should be saying to me is you suck. There you go. That's what I meant to say. At any rate, honorable mentions. Counter-Strike. Yeah, it was officially commercially released the year after, but the original mod release, and it was a Half-Life, or was it? Yeah, it was a Half-Life mod, which is why I'm not really going to include it as a full game, was released in 1999. And you know, for all the complaining I did about the game at the time, and I did a lot because it wasn't perfect, not by a long shot, I did complain about that game a lot, but it did a lot of good things, and it honestly was a trendsetter. Look at how first-person shooters evolved after it. And even to this day, a lot of them owe a lot to Counter-Strike trying to make a more realistic shooter. So Counter-Strike is, and you know, I prefer the earlier versions. There were some stuff that they honestly fucked up later on. Like originally, I mean, the burst fire thing, you don't want to hold down the attack button as well. It'll get less and less accurate as you do. But some of the earlier versions also used to have it so that if you crouched, you'd have more accuracy. Well, that only made sense, you know? But of course, later on, that got removed because Well, spray and pray is how you play. Yeah, it did get dumb. And that does kind of suck. But it was good for a while. Next honorable mention. The PlayStation. I'm not kidding on this one. Like I said at the beginning of this year, 1999, was an absolute banner year for consoles. They ruled the world, and really rightfully so. This is when they started really getting mainstream popularity. I mean, I had a freaking Intellivision. We had Pong. We had one of the Pong home systems. So we'd been in it from the beginning. I had an Intellivision. We knew of Atari, all that fun stuff. But for most people, video games were just this, nerd side project thing that would honestly get you beaten up on playgrounds. Until the PlayStation made it cool. So yeah, really the PlayStation gets an honorable nod here, all on its own. And I could have done a list entirely of PlayStation games. In fact, I almost did. There are enough of them that were good enough. But ultimately, I'm a PC guy. PC Master Race. Yeah, right. I'm more of a PC guy. That's what my focus has been. I still do play consoles, don't get me wrong. I'm happy to play consoles. I love consoles too. But the list is PC for a reason. And the last honorable mention is going to go to Planescape Torment, because I haven't played it yet. It is the game of 1999 that I want to play. I have it. I have a couple copies of it, in fact. I have the remaster and the original. I have not played either one yet. I just haven't gotten around to it. Like I say, that's generally why I don't play brand new games, because even when I finally get a game, I have so freaking many that I don't get around to them. And I have to be in the right mood to play RPGs, especially ones... That one is really text-heavy. Obscenely text-heavy. And if I want to read that much... Yeah. And the number one game... Now, again, I want to also stress that finding a list of games released in this year is really hard to do anymore. There just didn't seem to want to catalog, or just a lot of games aren't cataloged properly as what year they came out, like this. You'll notice that I am missing a lot of areas. I obviously have not been really exploring this playthrough. I was just going after the bosses, clearly. Which is why I should probably explore more right now. Huh. It's actually kind of bad. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me. Mostly probably because it's like, well, I've already done this, so I don't need to do it again. Which is true. I have already done this, and I don't need to do it again. But I might as well. Yeah, I guess when I was actually playing through this, I was doing it specifically to get, like, the boss things. Okay, so, yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, it's hard to find information for the list sometimes. Like, there were a lot of games that I had to find a couple different lists just to find some of the games. Like, even the Wikipedia list only mentions a very small portion of games released this year. Like, only the most notable ones. So, if my information is incorrect on what year some of these are released, I apologize. I did the best I could. I went through a bunch of information and tried to find it, but release dates from games 20 years old, not the most accurately defined. Anyway, number one, and again, should come as no surprise, System Shock 2. Yeah, this really is one of the best games made, period. Now, playing it today, I will admit, is very clunky. Wolfman, to Lily, single shot, passive. There should be a water one in here. There we go. Increase underwater speed, directional. I don't need that. Maybe I do need that. No, that's how you get through it. Okay. Yeah, System Shock, and as I said, it's clunky as hell today. We all know this. Everyone knows the game is incredibly clunky. The engine is not really up to snuff for what game engines, well, are today. It just isn't. Just based on how freaking old that game is. Oh, by the way, that thing right there that I just got, that soul, if you're playing this game on your own, that soul is how you get through the water area the first time. I know it's a bit of a spoiler there, but trust me, it took me fucking forever. Forever to get that. I was stuck for the longest time because I didn't realize that, oh, I need to get a soul from this particular enemy to move on. Anyway, yeah, the engine is clunky as shit. It's almost hard to play today. I mean, I've gone through it on my stream. It was one of the early games I went through on my stream because it was part of my initial list. But if you can play it, if you can stomach it, it is absolutely worth going through. It has one of the single best moments of any story. Movie, book, video game, doesn't matter. There is one particular scene in System Shock 2 that I know everyone knows already. I know it's been spoiled to death. I'm not going to spoil it again, but it's worth the price of admission. That scene, especially if you didn't know it, when it happens, oh my god, it's the best scene in a video game. And System Shock 2 is just fun to play. I said, other than the fact that the engine is so obtuse, or not obtuse, so clunky, so the way the inventory works, you always gotta switch around in the menus and all. It's a pain in the ass, but I assure you it is worth playing if you can get a copy of System Shock 2. And there are versions, there's the advanced version that works on modern systems, no problem. Get your hands on it. Play it. You won't be disappointed. Well, you might be. You might be if you really care about how smooth the engine is. But the game itself is a masterpiece. An absolute masterpiece. So that's my top 10. Going down them once again for those who weren't here, and the fact that, you know, had to hear me ramble through them. Number 10, SimCity 3000. Just isn't as good as the others. Number 9, Draken, Order of the Flame. I mean, it wasn't bad. It definitely could be worse. It wasn't great, but it was entertaining enough to make my list. Number 8, Descent 3. Fantastic improvement. I mean, they really upped the ante with the Descent series on this one. Great engine, much smoother than the previous one, worked really well with the mouse, and I wish I could play it for you guys, but I haven't been able to get it to run on the system anymore. It just doesn't want to work on modern systems, unfortunately. Number 7, Quake 3 Arena. I mean, it's still Quake. It's still pretty good. I just think that Quake 2 is better. I mean, yeah, I think Quake 2 is better, and I definitely think that my other entry on the list is better. What was it? Sorry, I'm trying to dodge these things here. Ow. Ow. Would like to not do that anymore, please. There we go. Number 6, Half-Life Opposing Force. Yeah, it's an expansion, but it's a standalone expansion to a great game that continued to make the game great. I mean, it's a chance to play through basically the same scenarios. There's more stuff. It's not that you're playing through the first game again with a new character. No, 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 no. It is a new story, new maps and such, but there are definitely references to the first game in it, or the base game, I should say, in it. Number 5, Roller Coaster Tycoon. Really one of the great simulation park ownership style games where you're trying to... Management games. There you go. It's a management game. And it's one of the greats. It's a lot of fun. Who doesn't want to build roller coasters for fun? I mean, come on. Do I not have the 1 anymore? I don't think I do. Oh, there it is. Where am I? Where am I? Number 4, Alien vs. Predator. Even though I don't like environmental, the scarier, suspenseful games, that one gets me. It actually can freak me out. And a game that can do that, it still has some of the best tension. And, you know, I mean, the story has been redone time and time and time and time and time and time and time again. We know this. But it's still an amusing tale, and it's still done well in this game. Number 3, Need for Speed High Stakes. I love Need for Speed, and High Stakes in particular is a fantastic sequel. It just improves on the previous game in every aspect. It's exactly what you want in a sequel. Now, mind you, I'm saying that, and it's like, well, does that mean you have to play the original game to really get how good High Stakes is? Do you have to? No, but it helps. And honestly, you really don't have to, because it basically has that game in it. So it almost obsoletes the previous one. In fact, no, almost. It obsoletes the previous one. So there's that. Number 2, Unreal Tournament. Despite being like Quake 3, an online-focused shooter, tournament shooter, this one just was more fun. I'm not going to say the bots were better, because that I can't say for certain. You definitely notice some AI things with the bots, I will say that. Like, they automatically dodge. They know if you're aiming at them. They absolutely know that you're aiming at them. Because they will dodge when you have them in your sights. Especially if you have a sniper rifle aimed at their head, you can watch them dodge around. They should not be able to, they should not know, but they do. So, there are flaws with the game. But, as I say, I just think it's more fun than Quake was. And of course, number 1, System Shock 2. Utterly fantastic, classic game that if you ever get a chance to play it, you should take it. It is worth it. Flip this back around and see where I should be going. Okay, I am going the right way. Because I want to go back through the teleporter. Notice this nice little... getting a bit of graphics issues on that with these things dying the wrong way. And, in fact, now let's focus on the game at hand. As I mentioned every year when I do this, except for last year. Last year, I pointed out a game that you absolutely should not play, because I couldn't think of a good one from the year that I thought was right to play. This year, though, I had to showcase this one. Not really an unknown game. Most people know this exists. Most people were well aware. I mean, this thing was one of the most funded Kickstarters ever. Not the, but it was up there. It was one of them. And rightfully so. Fortunately, unlike some of the other Kickstarters, this game came out and, well, okay, I'm not going to say that it delivered on all the promises. It hasn't. There's still a lot of things that this game just does not do. There's a lot of promised features that are not in it yet. Hell, they haven't even... I don't even think the Switch version is completed yet. I think they're still working on the patch for that. Because it, unfortunately, had some major performance issues because, you know, the Switch is just not as good as the other systems. Well, this is the right place to do this. So, yeah, it's not a perfect game, but it is everything I wanted in a spiritual sequel to Symphony of the Night. Absolutely everything I could have wanted. How's my techniques doing here? Barely improved. Yeah, this technique is going to be a while before I learn it. Because you have to... I don't know if you have to hit things with it or kill things with it. Well, I'll take the level up. Definitely take a level up. That does not happen very often anymore. Now, I've collected most of the things in this already. I have some really powerful weapons. They did get nerfed. Some of the stuff in this game did get nerfed. But really, it has all the play of Symphony of the Night. It's a really well done Metroidvania. The movement tech that you earn throughout is absolutely fantastic. There's a lot of really fun weapons to do. You'll notice that you keep seeing these crystals show up as well. Those things. Those are just like the souls in some of the DS games. The Sora, or not just DS, the Game Boy Advance and DS games. Aria of Sorrow, Harmony of Sorrow, the Sora, Soma, I think he is called, games. The ones that actually took place in the future. The ones where they turned Dracula into a Japanese high school student. Because Japan. And everybody is a Japanese high school student in video games. Even Count Dracula now. But no, the crystal system is very similar to that soul system in that game, which is one of the better parts of that game. Which, if you're not doing it like me and trying to farm every single soul as much as possible, it means the game has... It plays differently every time you play it, based on the souls that you get. Which gives the game all kinds of replayability. Now, I'm just kind of farming stuff right now in this, but it has... I mean, let's go ahead and actually exit out of this to the title screen here. And I'm going to show off some of the other features this game really does have. Now, as I said, I've beaten it before, so I have some of the extra modes and all. This is on hard mode. You see my saves down here, my normal mode. Here's the one where I finally managed to beat it. I have to check something real quick. Look, seeing how low my gold is, which, you know, rather amazing number there, 100,001. I wonder, inventory, key items, Whispers and Getsu, Craftwork, blah, 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 blah. Velfar, I think, well, actually, I can check in-game. What am I doing? Archives, demons. Yes, yes, good. I do have the Velfar demon. The Velfar medal. Those medals, by the way, let's go back to them, take a look. These are all bosses that I killed without getting hit. It's easier than it sounds with New Game Plus. Trust me. Like, trust me. I have a ton. I mean, like, these things drop in a couple hits for some of them. So, that's how you get them. And yes, I even have the 8-bit one. Because I've beaten him without getting hit. There are also plenty of damage mitigation things in this. Plenty of them. Mastery Tome. Just the two? I could have sworn I was able to get more by now. Probably can get more by now. Right. I was going to show off some of the other things. Yeah, I was worried about the amount of gold I had, so I had to go check and make sure I'd actually done that and I wasn't just ruining my save. That kind of was. So we got extra runs. We got a speed run mode. I love this. Because why not have a speed run mode? You know, there are going to be people who want to challenge this game as quickly as they can. I'm not one of them. But it has the option for it. And of course, there's the boss rush mode as well. If you just want to run through a bunch of the bosses. And for example, as you see, there's actually 3 difficulties. And I have not beaten it yet on hard in order to do Nightmare. But like boss rush mode here, as you see, I have cleared it in no time. And I've cleared this one in almost no time. Obviously using a different setup than I'm using right now. Using some of my Uber weapons. I mean, let's take a quick peek. I don't think it actually starts until you get into it. So I might be able to save my setup here that I'm currently using. Oh, that's a shortcut. Okay. That one is still locked, so I still have one more shortcut to do. Fuck, which is the better one? I think that one is the better one. Can I paste my current to there? Which I think was actually that. Oh. Pretty sure that's the one. Yeah, pretty sure this is the actual setup. Okay, so this right here starts the timer. And I'm already behind because of that. Because I didn't just immediately start attacking. This is what I'm talking about with how quick these things are when you're high end. So I'm actually going to go ahead and exit out of this. But yeah, there's the boss rush mode. You can do that. Challenge how quickly you can do it. One of these days I might even get under a minute on that. I doubt that. I don't even know if that's possible. You have the sound effect mode, and there are...
Know that Johnny Galanis, Captain Thrashbeard, will be the Pirate King.
I love this. Because it was kickstarted. There's a lot of things in this game that were added as Kickstarter bonuses. All those pictures on the wall, the pets, There's a couple dogs and the various cats. Those were added as Kickstarter things.
Dumb, but cool.
These are the special messages.
Check out L1 Games on YouTube. Muzz rocks. May the light of lamp illuminate your way.
I love it.
Hello to my wife Maria from Dusty. I love you. And please check out the Arc Flash Gaming channel on YouTube.
Minasan, Bloodstainedを応援してくれてありがとう. I looked, and there was a pale green horse. Its rider was named Death, and Hades accompanied him.
Nice, nice. So yeah, I love that it has. Every game should have something like this, man. You can have the soundtrack just right there, various sound effects, configuration. It's. What more can you want from a video game, in all honesty? And there are things that can change your character's looks. You can change her hair. You can change, like, even the color of her skin on this. That's why I have this dark motif with the character here. There are... I don't know if I have the entire outfit, but as said, there are things that do change. Not many. She's not one who everything she wears changes her looks. But there is the one particular set that does it. And most of the things are hidden. Most of the stuff for it is hidden, but I think I found it all. I think it's the Valkyrie stuff. Her head pieces, those all change. So there is that. And of course the weapon all changes. And there are bucket loads of special weapons. Again, made because of Kickstarter stuff, Kickstarter backer things. In fact, let me go ahead and showcase or show you some of them. I don't know if I have them all. In fact, I'm pretty sure I don't. Although I'm pretty sure also that that's where I wasted my money for the Valifer fight. Also, like that on New Game Plus, you've noticed the map, I'm sure. New Game Plus keeps your map, obviously, and of course highlights the areas you've been to and haven't. So it makes it really nice to go, well, wait, I missed a secret over here. All right, I need to go over there. I need to do this. I need to do that. The dots on it are NPCs for quests and such. Let's go ahead and take a look at the alchemy here.
What are we transmuting this time?
Crafts. Because in order to get the various weapons, you need to make them. Kind of. You use the coins. The 8-bit coins, the 16-bit coins. Yeah, 32-bit coins. So the first thing you do is you use an 8-bit coin to buy the weapon. Let's come down here. Right? How do I have 5 Dawn? Oh, right. It's like, how do I have 5 of these? Right. Because I have an ability that actually can make up to 5 instead of 1. Which is handy. But yeah. So for example, I can make a Dawn Blade. The Blue Skies. And all of these are pretty much the backer ones. Ah, I wonder what that says. Hikari. And the problem with all of these being the backer ones like this, unfortunately, this is the only way to get most of them. You know? And there are some interesting ones on here. You know, you'll note there's the 3 different versions. There's the 8-bit version. Then you get the 16-bit coins where you need the 8-bit version and you upgrade it to 16-bit. And this is one of my favorites right here, the Blood Grinder. It's that chainsaw sword thing. The sword spins around. It's pretty neat. Silent Calamity, Sculptors. And up here, because I actually have the pieces for most of these, are the 32-bit versions. The third tier of them. Come on, get down to them. Ah, see, there you go. These are the 32-bit versions, the tier 3s. You need the 8-bit nightmare, which you get from beating the 8-bit boss. I think it's once per playthrough. No, he does have a chance to drop it again afterward, I think, but it's pretty low. Not that he's hard to kill, especially at this point. He really isn't. So I could make the tier 3 versions, which as you see are significantly powerful. But that's the only way to get him, is to make them like that. Alright, is there anything here I have not made and or eaten? That's not food. Okay, so I've made and eaten all of the food that I see here. And each one of these actually increase once you eat it, it increases your stats a bit. Bunch of shards, including yeah. I have no idea. Oh, okay. These things don't have power-ups. That's why you can't power them up. Except for this one. Oh, no. The others have all been powered up already. Which is why I need to find a tome scrap in order to get the last level of the Dandelion there. The rank. That's why it's like I can't rank double jump up any higher. I can rank this. It doesn't do anything. So all of these things have extra rank that you can make them stronger. You know, attack capability. Increase the defensive range on that. Faster attacks. The accelerator lets me move quicker. That's what I needed to have equipped when I was doing boss rush. That's the one that actually lets me move around. Because again, it's been a while since I played. I don't remember everything. Shadow Tracer is a lot of fun. Hit more possible actions. Transform to all kinds of things. There's one that transforms you into a chair. Summons a chair. Yeah, more healing. Boosts all your stats. These are these the directional ones? Yeah, I think these are the directional ones. These all increase your base stats. They have rank and grade. Grade is how many of them you've picked up. As you can see, I've picked up. As you can see, I have grinded for these. I spent time to go through every single one of these and made sure I have them. Ditto the passives. Any of the passives I have maxed out. So I've got my... and pardon me. I've even made sure that all of these are higher. So that if I ever need to use them, yay. And I can dismantle. I don't know what to say. Of course I tried to max them out. That's how I play. I like to max things out. So we're down to the fact that the kid is here. So we're definitely far in the game. Purchase. It won't let me purchase more of these? It doesn't, yeah.
Is this right? Oh, thank you.
Yeah, there's a limit to how many of these I can purchase. I can make more of them, though. Is that one that maxes it out? Yeah, fully restores. Or, no, I might just be my limit to how many I can carry. And foodstuffs. To make the recipes, but again, I think my recipes are maxed. And obviously some of these drop, which is why I have them completely maxed out. And there's where you can buy the coins. They are fairly expensive. The discount card, which I have. So there's actually... I should be wearing it. I think there's one of the passives that lets you shop cheaper as well. Ammunition, including a ton of diamond bullets, because why not? Even though I have never actually used the guns in this. And it's another case of once you've crafted it, it's available in the shop. So, I don't know if there's anything I have not crafted yet. Let's find out. Again, it has these. This is something that every game should have, in my opinion. Well, not every game, but many games should have this. I've had all of the materials. Yeah, I've collected most of the items. Does it show me which ones I haven't? Like there, I can get pork cutlets just from the drop from that. Okay, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 foods that I have yet to get. And I don't know the recipes for them because I was just over there taking a look. So I have no idea. There's a recipe drop somewhere I don't have. Oh, I got something new in here even from the last time I checked. The fell leaf. And flying bee. Ah, okay, yeah. The end game items are available now on the list. Fiend eye. Yeah, so that's just items. Supplies, materials I have. I'm missing 8% of the weapons. A little bit of head armor. Got all the body armors now. All the body armors are done. It's like weapons. I come down here and I'm missing a gun by the looks of it. A couple whips. Several whips. Whoa, the last two. And one of them is the high-end one. Damn. That's, yeah, the Valkyrie. I'm still missing the Valkyrie one. They are well hidden. Some of them are kind of bullshit. Like, you're basically going to have to look them up to find some of these things. There's the Valkyrie dress. I'm missing... I have all the scarves? They have all the scarves. I'm missing the one accessory. I've got all the demons, all the shards. I have not done the quests yet. A lot of the quests I haven't done this time through. I think that's one of the things I'm missing is the food that she's looking for. And of course, this is my favorite part, the bestiary. I've gotten all of the enemies and all of the shards. It doesn't mean I've gotten everything they drop. In fact, where is it? Number 1 here. See, they have the drops listed. If I go all the way through, I'm sure I will find one. Maybe? That I don't have the drop listed. And of course, that's one of the things, is you need the... Well, this is one of the dogs that was, you know, Kickstarter backer. In order to fill out other parts of your list, like, oh, well, you need to find this. Here's where you can get it. You need to have found this information to begin with. So the more you unlock, the more you're going to be able to find out how to unlock stuff. I'm still looking to see if there are anything on the drops that I don't have. I'm pretty sure I have all the drops at this point. No, 8-bit. Yeah. Remember I said he drops the book sometimes? That's what's missing here. Is his drop rate for the book. And all the rest I have. So literally the only drop in the game I am missing is the book from a difficult boss. Now, you see the food there that it's looking for. That's a quest. So I come in here, and we'll take a look at the food I've had available. The meals are... I guess down here. So here's all the meals, and you'll note none of these icons match. Wait, what did I just see?
What would you like to buy?
Oh. Okay.
Is this right? Pleasure doing business. Is this right?
There we go. So this is... You need these for the fairy to cure you. Okay. Well, there we go. Now the fairy can cure me, no problem. I actually like that too. The fairy uses items that otherwise can't be used. So she's not using your items when she heals you. She's using her own items that only she can use. I like that. I like that. Yeah, so even though I've completed the map, I mean, for freaking hell, I had 100% map completion and I still have not found all of the drops, all the chests and such. So your guess is as good as mine on some of these, I swear. Like, the hairstyles, I don't know where they all are. There are several that I'm missing. I haven't powered up all of the crystals yet. I have most of them at 9 just because of how often I've gone through them. But I love that it has the bestiary and such. It has the collections you want. So you can see what you're missing and you can see where things are. If you want to find a certain item, you can find out where to get that item. Now you'll notice there's a mark on the map over here, and it's an area I have not been to yet, but I'd marked it on a previous playthrough. This is a special place.
A demon! Wait, I'm a good killer barber.
Killer Barber.
Cutthroats all say as much. I'm not a cutthroat. I've never cut anyone. Well, I have, but it's these scissors. They've cursed me to become a demon.
I love this guy.
Then why not cast them aside?
Cast them aside? If I could take them off, I wouldn't be cursed. Duh.
He's right. I love that. Duh. Fair. Alright. Todd, as in Sweeney Todd. The demon barber of Bleak Street.
Different hairstyles.
666 hairstyles.
Well, why not just make the hairstyles up then? Lop a little off here or there.
There's a penalty for sloppy lopping. If I don't give my patrons good haircuts, the scissors give them dealt.
I love it.
You have the worst curse ever.
She's not wrong.
Yes, quite literally, yes. Please, can you help me find information about hairstyles? I'll cut you for free.
That is not an enticing offer.
No, not cut you. Cut it. Wait, what are you even worried about? You look like you could.
I love this guy.
Pieces.
I really could. All right, you have a deal.
So what are you worried about? You look like you can tear me apart.
Fascinating. People do their hair like this.
Now the question is, okay, is that, yeah, see, there's still hairstyles I'm missing, see? So I don't know, but yeah, you can totally change her hair. See it from various angles. This is one I was actually rocking for a while. I love that look right here on her. In fact, why don't I go ahead and go back to that one? Change her hair color. Change the color of her costume. So I have those all. The only one I'm really missing is some of the haircuts, apparently. One haircut. I'm missing one haircut for her. Oh, God. Yeah, it's hard to find one that really matches. I need more colors here. Clearly. What looks best? Well, it's like, that's gray, that's black. Okay, so gray. I can come back here. Oh, that works on her. Can have some really bizarre skin colors too, as you see. There we go. And then eye color. Let's give her silver eyes. Black. You gotta have the black. And the other side, though. There you go. What do you think? Whole new look for her.
The look suits you fine.
See? Perfect. Not that you can tell that much because I have so many other effects going on her right now. But so there's a good level of customization available. I'm actually going to go ahead and exit so that I can watch that cutscene whenever I want. That wasn't the right one I wanted to do. That was a total exit, not just title menu. Tisk, tisk. And I like that you can do that. I like that it has the option to either go to the menu or just quit entirely out from there. I just picked the wrong one. Like, seriously, there are so many things. Little tiny details of just conveniences in the programming that a lot of games just don't do. Don't have the time for or whatever. And they're not necessary. They're just things that make it nicer to play. Why? There we go. You know, they just make it more entertaining to play. I would have liked it if each of the outfits you buy, that you wear, actually changed her look, or that you could change her look, the dress itself, to whichever outfit you wanted. Because that's one of the things, some people don't like that if you get new armor, it changes how you look, and I can understand that completely. I, however, would have liked more options. It's like, am I actually wearing... I don't think I'm wearing the Valkyrie dress right now. Equipment. Yeah, I'm not wearing the Valkyrie dress. Which, as you see, it does change how she looks. So let's... Yeah, this one actually looks... has better stats anyway. So... And... You can't tell in the background, but the only one that actually changes her doesn't actually show it automatically. You see, the rest of it don't change her. Only the Valkyrie dress. The shovel armor. That one changes her. Holy shit, I did not know that. Well, okay, that explains one thing. Oh my god. It changes the weapon. Oh, I did not know about this. Can you dig? Can I dig? I didn't know that this changed the looks. That's really funny. Unfortunately, it also, you see what it did to the attack there. It doesn't even show it here. That's why I've never equipped this before. It doesn't do anything except clearly it does. That's awesome. Okay. Well, that kind of debunks the Shovel Knight as a playable character. Because it was shown in one of the videos, but, well... Now you've seen where it came from. So there are two pieces of armor that change her. And, of course, these all change. So, yeah, her hair accessory can be changed. The cape changes. Which is difficult to see because it doesn't want to go toward the camera. It also clips. They clip. They clip fantastically. Hey, friggin'. I usually would run around like my luck setup too. That's how I did all the farming. The hell was that? That must have been from changing back away from the Shovel Knight. So there, you guys got to see another secret that even I didn't know about. That was pretty funny. I would absolutely recommend picking this game up. I would honestly, if you haven't yet, there's a side game as well. Where's the freaking library? There we go. There's a side game as well, Curse of the Moon, which is done in 8-bit style. It's not as hard as Castlevania. It really is. It's a much, much easier game to the point where I've played it and beaten it. Not gotten the really good endings, but I have beaten it. All right, librarian.
I've come by some new reading material.
I can still only do 2 at a time. Increases the power of the familiars, increases luck, increases XP, increases movement speed. So I can return that one
I'll go with this.
and do that.
Be certain to return what you borrow. This is a library, not a bookshop.
Now, the funny part about that is there is a secret later on. There's a lot of secrets in this game. Oops. Let's do this. Let's do this the right way. Yeah, the game... Like, I honestly cannot gush enough for how good this game is. I can't. I could talk forever about just how much fun I have with this game. It is... Castlevania Symphony of the Night, in my opinion, is one of, if not the best PlayStation games. Hands down, it is one of the best things on PlayStation. Like, I would honestly be hard-pressed to think of a better PlayStation game. Can you... Thank you. I didn't even need to do it that way. I could have done it another way. There are some games that just transcend the genre, transcend the system they're on. But there actually is a key to kick upwards. And I don't know what it is right now. Like, I have a flash jump move. Where's my shards? Where's high jump? LB. Ah, it is. So that's what I've been trying to find the whole time. Because it lets you do... You can fly. Yeah, just like the previous game, you can totally fly. What? Damn it. Alright, now what am I supposed to do with this thing? Stop it. Ah, okay. Ugh, stop that. Yes, those things are just as annoying as Medusa heads elsewhere. Silver Knight. I think he was already rank 9. He's definitely rank 9 now. Right? No! He is only grade 8! So that did make him more powerful. But he's still only 8 shards for it. He's the one that you get that way. Just ones throughout the castle. Yes, there are chairs. Why wouldn't you be able to sit on a chair, man? I'm not doing much to describe things today. I apologize. Ah! Stupid mimics. No! Well, I mean, if it's gonna do that to me, at least it did it while I was... Oh, this room. Okay. So at least it did it while I was, above ground and not above the grinder. Okay, so we have a special room down here. A special room that has been opened. I had the key for this one, so let's go take a look at it. This is, again, one of the Kickstarter rooms. Just a bunch of music boxes and a chair, and I think if you sit in one of the chairs long enough... Yeah, I think I see some sparkling on that other side there. There you go. Just a nice little bonus secret thing. That's all this room is. Are the music boxes and that ghost. And, of course, the painting. What happens if you sit in this chair? Ah, yep, she's going to show up in the other one. Pretty cool, huh? So that's Circle or Ritual of the Night. Symphony of the Night, Ritual of the Night. Yes, I did get that connection a while back. I absolutely recommend it. It's, as far as a spiritual successor, it's a Kickstarter game that actually delivered. There are still things missing. There are. They've promised, more DLC going forward. And yet I played this months ago and there hasn't been any updates to it since, which is a shame because there's stuff missing. Other playable characters. You're supposed to be able to play as Zangetsu at some point. And when that comes out, I will replay this game with him. I will happily replay this game with a new character. It is that much fun. There's some multiplayer modes, I think, that were supposed to be added as well. I forget what all of the coming... In fact, why don't I just go ahead and take a look at it? So we'll leave this screen up while I try to Alt-Tab out. Now, the thing is, it doesn't actually Alt-Tab that well because it is in a borderless window. So even though I've Alt-Tabbed, it stayed up. You know, it's in the background, but... Okay, let me take a quick peek at what the DLC is going to be, and there are currently 13. Great. 13 planned. Great. What are they? Some of them are already in it. And as the thing, I don't really call it DLC because, it's like free 13 planned DLC. No, these are updates for the game. Even though that they called them the DLC. It doesn't really say. So, like, Nightmare difficulty is already in it. That was one of them. They're supposed to have a co-op mode, a versus mode, a roguelike mode. Boss rush is in it. I don't know what chaos mode is. I don't see... I wish someone had, made a nice little list of the 13. But I'm not seeing... Even the wiki doesn't have a list of the 13. Boo! I hope it comes sooner rather than later, though. I really do. Because I don't want this game to fade before it is complete. And that's a problem with Kickstarter games. It's a problem with early access games. When you sell a game before it's done, the hype can be over before it's out. Like Dead Cells came out last year. I'd already pretty much played through what I was going to play through of it the year before. Not all of it. And I did go back and replay it when it came out, finished. There's even more now. I love the fact that now you can actually go back and replay all the old versions. You can literally set the game up to play any of the old releases, which, kudos. This one is still missing content, but it's absolutely a complete game right now. There's just more stuff that they want to add to it. I hope they do. I hope they actually finish it. They should. They need to. If you want to wait until it's out, I don't blame you. Until everything's out, I don't blame you. I personally think the game is definitely something worth owning today. Because even if the co-op mode never materializes, even if the versus mode doesn't happen, which would be tragic. It would be tragic if these announced modes just never come to be. Not like that's never happened before with early release video games. But even if they don't happen, what we have right now is still a fantastic game worth owning and worth playing. It's my #1 game of the year. It absolutely was. When Steam did the list, this is what I chose because it's a masterpiece. I hope there's sequels. Oh God, I hope there's sequels. Even more the 8-bit one, please. That was so much fun. I had such fun with Circle of the Moon. No. Circle of the Moon? No, that's the Castlevania. What was Curse of the Moon? Curse of the Moon, they called this one. Which, again, following the theme of kind of naming them after some of the Castlevania names. And it's actually really good because I played that one first. So that when I played this, I actually noticed that some of the boss fights are the same. So it was really cool being able to see them in this style and in the 8-bit style. And I adore these games releasing 8-bit versions as well. Mighty Gunvolt did that. Yeah, Mighty Gunvolt actually is the 8-bit version. Azure Strike Gunvolt is the real version, and Mighty Gunvolt is this like 8-bit side game that they released. I love those. Those are great. I wish more companies would do that. I wish more games did that. So there you go. That was my top 10 list of the year, and a bit of my top 10 list of 20 years ago, and my favorite game of this year. Disappointment, as I said. It was going to be a disappointing stream today, but it is what it is. Friday we'll be back with more Crystallis. I think I'm going to log off and play this for a while. You know, actually go to the bosses and try to grind more of those medals, which are, I mean, look how many I've gotten so far. I've gotten a ton so far. Now, I did have some of these in the first run, but never was able to say it. Like, where is it? Where is he? I actually don't think he's in here. This one, I'm pretty sure. I did this one several times in the first playthrough, so it's not like these are that ultimately hard to do. It's just a lot easier when the enemies die before they get a chance to do anything. So yeah, there's my stream. I hope you enjoyed. I hope 2020 brings you all happiness and joy. And until Friday, when I continue with Crystallis, take care, Internet. Enjoy the games you play.